check out our little customers sometimes. Let's say you're down at the grocery store and your name is Bob and you happen to be a truck driver, okay? And you're very excited about the products because you've lost 50 kilos and you're wearing your button and you're very proud about the product and you are out there and you are shopping and here comes Mary. She's waddling down the aisle and she's 100 kilos overweight and she says to Bob, she goes, Bob, she says, could you tell me about the button, how to lose weight? And he goes, oh yeah. He says, this stuff's unbelievable. You're not even going to believe it. And she goes, okay, I'll do it. She's very excited. Okay? And now little Sally, she comes home and she's so proud and she's all excited about her little box. And she puts it on the counter like this. And she has her little bottles and they're all set up and it's all neat and everything. She's got her orange juice over here to make it. And she's very excited. And then all of a sudden, her big, fat, negative husband walks in the door. And he opens up the door like this. And he's got his big, fat belly with his T-shirt with grease all over it because he's an auto mechanic. And he walks over to the refrigerator and he opens up the door and he grabs a beer. And he drinks it down and then he looks over and he goes, hey, what's that? And she goes, it's a new diet I'm going to go on, honey. He says, what? A new diet? I can't believe it. He says, where did you buy this from? She says, you're not even going to believe it. I met this man down at the grocery store who was a truck driver who was wearing a lose weight now, ask me how button. He says, I can't believe it. He says, you've done some pretty stupid things before. He says, how much did that cost? She says, oh, about $200. What? $200? He says, I can't believe you spent all my beer money. He says, this is just unbelievable. Okay? And just about then, the two little fat children walk into the room. And they go, what's wrong, Daddy? And they go, Mommy's going on a new diet. And they go, no, Mommy, no. Every time you use a new diet, you get real mad and irritable. Please, Mommy, don't use the diet. Just about then, the telephone rings. Ring, ring. And it says, how you doing, Mary? She goes, oh, terrible. She says, my big, fat, negative husband is yelling at me about using the product. It's just terrible. And she says, not only that, my little fat children are yelling at me too. She says, it's just terrible. And then the Herbalife person says, now listen, Mary, get a grip. He says, I don't care what your big, fat, negative husband says or what your little fat, chubette children say. I want you to get back in that kitchen and drink those shakes twice a day and take those tablets 3 times a day. About 2 months later, Sally is shrinking and shrinking. And her big fat husband keeps coming home every night. And after 2 months, he looks at her and he goes, ooh, oh, looking very nice, wife. Yeah. And then he starts drinking the product, okay? And he starts shrinking. And then pretty soon they feel very confident and very lovely. And they hold hands and they take their little stroll down the street on a Sunday. And all the neighbors are seen. And all the neighbors want to get onto the product. And pretty soon they're getting onto the supervisor position and the world team position. And they come back to the office and they're working their way up to the GET team and the millionaire team. And finally they're president's team members. So we have two unbelievable things. So we have two unbelievable things going. We have the magic of the product, and we have the magic of you calling the customer constantly and giving them the courage and the confidence to keep going, to make it. Now let's go through the follow-up program here real quick, because follow-up, like we said, is very, very important, okay? And there's three reasons why you want to follow up. Number one, you want to make sure that they're taking it and they're taking it right, okay? Because sometimes people buy the product and just sit there with the last 15 things that they bought. And so you want to check on them and call them and see what's happening, okay? The other thing is that there's only two things that people can do other than cheating, okay, that can mess up the program. And every once in a while, someone who's not used to drinking very much milk, okay, 40% of the population after they're 25 doesn't produce a digestive enzyme in their stomach that digests the milk, and they can get things like headaches and diarrhea and nausea and bloatiness and that sort of thing, okay? The other thing is when people get onto the product and they don't eat what they want to eat. Now they take the 2 shakes and they think, I'm going to get with the Herbalife bandwagon and I'm just going to have this little piece of lettuce with a little drop of oil on it. And they stop smoking, they stop drinking, and what do you think's going to happen? Diarrhea, and they feel terrible, okay? All because what? Because they changed their diet and they didn't eat what they want to. And guess what people want to do? Eat. You know, especially when they're real fat, okay? So why not let them eat, okay? See, and that makes it more fun and that makes it more simple, okay? So I found a couple little things that really helped me with people that got off track, okay? Because what happens is sometimes if they do have that reaction, it's not that many people that have this reaction, but when they do, most of the time, what do they think it is? The product, okay? So you got to get them off of that, okay? Otherwise, you're going to get a refund. So that's the follow-up program, okay? And you just want to call them, you know, like on the first day and then the third day. You having fun down there? Okay? And the 7th day. And, you know, and just keep following up on them. For instance, they've lost 7 pounds, and now they go to the local family gathering, okay, after a week being on the product. And what is everybody doing at the family gathering? Eating like crazy, right? So they start eating like crazy, and guess what else they're doing? Drinking like crazy. So they're drinking like crazy and eating like crazy, and on Monday, they think they've messed up the whole program and stuff like that. And that's where the Herbalife distributor comes in, and, you know, they call the person up, and they say, how you doing, Mary? And she says, oh, awful, it's just terrible. You know, the first week I was losing all this weight, and then all my family members got around me, and they were eating like pigs, and I started eating like crazy, and I started drinking like crazy. And not only that, my fat husband's on my back saying, you're a bad person for buying this product because you took up all my beer money. And the little fat pudgette kids are in here saying, you know, don't get on the diet, don't get on the diet, because everything I've ever been, I've always been mean and nasty to my children and stuff like that. And she says, now listen, Mary, get a grip, okay? I'm telling you, you're going to lose weight on this stuff, okay? And all you're going to do is drink these shakes twice a day, and you're going to take these tablets 3 times a day, and you're going to lose weight like crazy. Now get back in that kitchen and drink this product, and don't worry about your big, fat, negative husband. Get going. Sometimes I see people, you know, they're there and they're talking to someone for 3, 4, 5 hours, and they're begging people to get into their company and stuff like that. Please, please, please get into my business because I'll make some money and stuff like that. No, you got to switch your thinking, okay? Your thinking here is that you're going to do everything to help them get rich, okay? And don't beg them to get into the business. They ought to be begging you to get into this company, okay? Seriously. We got the greatest thing in the world. They should be begging us to get in this company and stuff like that. So here's the kind of attitude that you have, okay, when you're talking to someone about the business. You have the attitude that you're going to get rich and they're going to get rich. So let's just try this out just a little bit here, okay? I want you to turn to the person next to you just real quick. Okay, everybody turn to the person next to you. And I want you to look them square in the eyes, and I want you to say, man, am I glad you got to meet me. What I'm going to explain to you right now, there's a couple of big things I've explained to you that are important. Number one, the products were the most important for me in my success. Number two was keeping everything fun, simple, easy, magical. Okay? The next one was sticking to the plan of daily method of operation of getting 10 in the business. This next one is one of my biggest key points of my success. So listen into this. I know we've been here a while, and we're getting close to the end of the day, but this is one of my biggest things that made me so successful, okay? I was always very concerned with how good my people have done and how good they do. And that just didn't happen from the first month. That's still happening today, okay? But I was very concerned the very first 72 hours. Now, there's not something, a miracle about that number, but here's the reason why that amount of time is so important. They just got done with the opportunity meeting. And remember, you stacked the first 8 or 10 testimonials with the $3,000 housewife, truck driver, auto mechanic stories, okay? And now your person sitting out there goes, wow, if that housewife can make $3,000, maybe I can make $3,000, okay? Now, when they get home and they start to explain this to their spouse, guess what happens? The spouse is either very excited or extremely negative, okay? And starts putting that little housewife down, bad housewife, crazy woman, lunatic with powders and tablets, okay? So that's where the sponsor comes in, okay? And so what I do is immediately the next day we're going to meet and we're going to go to the career book and we're going to make up who do you know of everybody that wants to get on the products and who do you know of everybody that wants to get out to the business. So the first thing I do is I tell this person what they're supposed to do, which is to make up the list. Then the next thing I go out and do is I show them how to do the presentations. So for instance, with Jerry, I said, now Jerry, who are these out of these people do you want to get on the products? And they said, well, these people here. And I said, well, who do you want to get on the business? They said, these people here. I said, okay, Jerry, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some time out of my day to make some of these presentations for you. Okay, write that down. I'm going to do the presentations for you. You can't believe how much relieved Jerry was from me saying that, okay? She was excited about the business. She wanted to do the business, but yet she had never done anything like this, so she was scared to death, okay? So when I said I would do some of these presentations for her, it was like, wow, he's going to help me out here, okay? Now I said, now why I'm doing these presentations, Jerry, the important thing is you better listen to what I say, because after 4 or 5 of these, I'm going to make you do a part of the presentation on your own. I'll do a part, then you do a part. And then we'll keep doing that until you know how to do it on your own. Once you got somebody signed up, here's what I would personally do, okay? First thing I would do is I would tell my person to write down every single person that they know. Don't think about anything. Write down every single person that they know on a piece of paper or get their telephone book out. Okay? Write that down. A lot of people, they come to the meeting here and they see, well, someone's doing flyers, or they're doing the button, or they're doing whatever. Listen, if you're brand new and you're just getting this thing going, don't start with flyers and the button and all that. You know, maybe work that in with why you're working what I'm going to tell you. Okay, but first thing you do is make out a list of every single person that you know everywhere in the world. Okay? And then you want to contact that person, because if you don't, somebody else will. Now, where can we go to find people? Write this down. Your customers are unbelievable. Your friends. And again, turn to that page number 24 so you can think about all the people that you know. Okay? You can run little advertisements in the newspaper, in your booklet right in here. Okay? It's got not only the advertisements you can run, but it's got the script of what you say to get them down to the meeting, word for word, what it is that you say, okay? You could carry around your tablet box with you, okay? No question about it. If you're wearing your button and you're carrying your tablet box and you got your briefcase that says Herbalife on it, okay? Will people ask what the heck is in those tablets?